these Zerglings rather quickly, and this is just, it's not a good position at all for Optics. Although he does have a rather sizable bank, and in terms of units lost right now, ZL Arcanite is behind. And if he keeps up with this attack, I don't think that he's going to be able to win off of these attacks. I'd like to see Optics, though, go in and contaminate that Stargate. Just try to delay that Void Ray as much as possible, because he does have that Overseer in the back of ZL Arcanite's base. Yep, pretty big group of Speedlings, but lots of Zealots. He needs to delay until these 3 Infestors pop out, and losing this Macro Hatch might be a sacrifice he has to take.
Yeah, the income right now, it's 46 to 24 in favor of ZL Arcanite. He's got about 500 more minerals and 200 gas mined per minute.
Indeed, indeed. Hold on, I have to deal with some administrative stuff really quickly. I'll be back in about
Lots of
6
Speedlings,
seconds.
though. You might actually be able to clean this up. And here comes all of the Speedlings, quite a few of them actually, almost two full groups of Speedlings are now headed towards the natural expansion. This is actually going to do a ton of damage to the natural expansion of ZL Arcanite. This is exactly what he needed to do in order to try to come back into this, as most of his mining had been almost completely decimated at his Optics' natural. But there is a pretty big fight also going on now at the natural expansion of Optics. He's going to lose his hatch there, although he is destroying, Optics is destroying the Twilight Council as well as several warp gates that are out just outside of the natural of ZL Arcanite. Although at this point it might be too little too late. ZL Arcanite has just a pretty scary army right now. He also force fielded the ramp at the natural expansion. He's going to be able to take out most of the main now. Oh, actually, he's switching directions. It looks like he's going to actually try to kill off these Speedlings.
This is not a fight that Optics can win. He just needs to turn this into a base race, in my opinion. There's no way that he's going to win this fight right here. So he just has to do something crazy like turning it into a base race. And really, he should have tried to snipe. There's the one Artosis pylon at the Expo that would have knocked out 2 of the gateways.
At this point, I don't think it matters. He just needed to keep on pushing with those Speedlings and hope that he could do enough damage that it would at least be close. But right now, it's 41 to 14 in Harvesters, even though there isn't a natural expansion up right now for ZL Arcanite. But he could have gotten into the main and killed off most of the probes and most of the production buildings with his Zerglings rather than turning around and coming back. And right now, his Speedlings are just kind of sitting outside of his of where his natural once was, doing nothing.
Yeah, it looks like those Speedlings are going to be able to take out a couple of these units. You're going to be able to take out that Archon and that High Templar. Trying to get us around on that pylon, but Expos are just going down everywhere from Optics.
Yeah, he put up 3 Expos. I think he's just trying to prolong the game at this point, though. I don't think he's got enough to actually hold off this army once the army actually goes and attacks these Speedlings.
Yeah, does he have... How many Infestors does he have? Is it just that one? No, he does have 2 Infestors. But this is... He's probably not going to win this fight with these Speedlings. The Zealots, they're just too many Zealots. Not enough Infestors to help out, and there's the GG.
He did hold it off a little bit longer. I thought that ZL Arcanite could have won with that second push that he did, but he didn't. I mean, he had done quite a bit of damage. He also killed like 5 or 6 Infestors before losing his entire army basically to that. I think that if he had, well, I mean, he was chrono boosting pretty well. He was keeping his Nexus energy down pretty well, but he just needed like one more round of Zealots out rather. Because he had too many Stalkers and Sentries, he ended up not really being able to do the damage to the Zerglings that he needed. But yeah, so you know, good thing for Optics. He did push it up. He prolonged the game a little bit longer, and he wasn't really out of it until he decided to take his Zerglings and leave the main base of ZL or whatever his name was. I forget his name now already. But If he had continued attacking with that two entire groups of Zerglings, he could have done a lot of damage. He could have knocked out all the production, probably. There was no wall at the top of the ramp. He did take out the Nexus. All he needed to do was get those Zerglings into the main base, and he could have stopped pretty much all mining completely. But he decided to pull back and try to take care of the army that was harassing his base. What he should have done was just keep on attacking. It would have been a lot closer. In fact, he might have ended up winning.
Yeah, I think trying to force that base race would have been the correct choice on his part. But we are moving on to Cephas versus Above Thee. This is a round of 64 match. I believe this will be the last round of 64 match that we will be casting. Yeah, it should be a good match. Should be a good match.
This one I think is Diamond versus Diamond? What is Cephas? I don't know. Above Thee is a Diamond Zerg. I'm not sure what Cephas is.
I will take a look really quick, see if I can't find it out.
So here we go, our third and final round of 64 match on MLG Xel'Naga Caverns. We have Above Thee spawning as the purple Zerg at the top right corner, and we have Cephas spawning as the pink Terran at the bottom left corner.
Above Thee is a Diamond player, and Cephas is, let me see, is a Masters Terran player. So it is a Diamond versus Masters player. Gonna see if there can be an upset here, but
I don't think so.
I don't know. We'll my money is on Cephas, but hopefully
my money is also on Cephas.
Hopefully having a nice upset. It would at least be entertaining.
So, as a Zerg player, what is your biggest fear about Terran? Is it the 2 racks bunker rush?
No, back in the day, I used to do Spanishiwa build almost exclusively. So I got really good at holding off all-ins, and if a bunker does a 2 racks rush with bunkers, I'm like SpongeBob up in this bitch. I'm like so happy. I'm just like ecstatic. I'm like a kid in a candy store because I know that I'll be able to hold it off and do a lot of economic damage. Cephas here is actually holding. He's building his wall off incorrectly. Unless I'm drastically wrong, it looks like that barracks is one space too far from the supply depot. But back to your question, in terms of things that I fear from a Terran, I would say mech. Mech is really scary. But aside from that, I don't know. Zerg vs Terran is my best matchup.
I don't think the wall off is wrong. I know that the yellow circles don't have to touch each other for the wall off to actually be complete, and I can see that they're right next to each other, but it doesn't appear to me. Oh yeah,
it was on
it. So you're right. Although sometimes I look at replays and stuff, and I'm like, it looks like the wall off is good. Like the yellow lines are touching each other, and then somehow something still gets through, or whatever, you know. And then sometimes, sometimes they're like an inch apart, like not an inch, but you know, a little bit. There's like a centimeter apart or whatever, not a centimeter, a quarter of a centimeter apart. And somehow they don't get through, and it's the perfect wall off. So I don't know. There's something strange going on with the maps.
Yeah, maps are weird, but it looks like he's going for a fast expansion here.
Yes, he is, and there's no expansion so far from Above Thee. And the last thing you want to do as a Zerg is be a base down.
Yeah, as long as he's getting a Roach Warren early. A bit of an odd decision on his part. I think he might be going for a build similar to what Destiny does, getting those roaches out early to try to fight off any sort of non-stem marine attacks or any sort of early Hellion aggression. I wanted to call them Banshees, and I was like, I know that's not wrong. But yeah, they're good for holding off early Hellion aggression, and he might just be going for a really strong all-in here.
Cephas did have an SCV scout around, but he didn't scout to the north of the mineral, so he ended up losing it at the edge of the creep for Above Thee and ended up not scouting that Roach Warren. So he's not going to know that it's coming, although he is putting up a bunker now at the top of his ramp. He's got 2 more barracks coming down. If he can get out a couple of marauders, he should be able to prevent any kind of roachling behind that wall. He should be fine.
Yeah, I think that this is going to be just fully an all-in from Above Thee. And I don't think it's going to come early enough to actually work. It is a lot of roaches, but there is a bunker up, and as long as he repairs, he should be just fine. I really don't like this play from Above Thee.
I don't think that the wall off is wrong. I know that the yellow circles don't have to touch each other for the wall off to actually be complete, and then I can see that they're right next to each other. And then sometimes they don't get through, and it's somehow It almost appears to me that Cephas thinks that there might be a Baneling bust if he's moving the. Well, I don't know. I don't know what he's doing. I'm not sure what Cephas is doing. He doesn't have a tech lab going up on any of his barracks, and he is moving his barracks now up to the front. So it does look like he does expect a Baneling, an attempted Baneling bust, but that isn't what's going to come. What's going to come is actually roaches and speedlings. There are now 9. Oh, but he did get a scan off now in the main base of above these, so he does see the roaches there. He should be throwing down a couple of tech labs on his barracks, or maybe not. I'm not sure what he's going to do. He is throwing down a 4th and 5th barracks, though. So at this point,
actually, 11 roaches is a whole lot of roaches.
It really is.
Especially
he needs
versus
marauders
6
to deal with them, and he doesn't have any marauders. He is pulling SCVs, though. It looks like he's going to do his darndest to repair.
This is gonna be really close. Had to call down that supply depot add-on.
This is a lot of roaches.
Oh my
god! This is gonna win.
So many roaches.
This is gonna win. He's got 11 roaches.
Yeah, this just might do it. This is just doing so much damage to that bunker. Just tons of burst damage. Gonna be able to take out that bunker. If he takes out that supply depot, then the Terran will be supply blocked. But it doesn't look like he's gonna do that. He's gonna be able to do so much damage here.
He's pulling off all of his SCVs to try to deal with this. He has taken out quite a few of the roaches already. 6 of them, actually, he's already taken out.
Now, he's migrating back and forth a lot, taking off that supply depot. And actually, it looks like Cephas has done a brilliant defense here, able to completely hold off above V. If there is a lane run by, though, that could do a lot of damage. Although the wall goes up just in time.
Might so good job by Cephas. The roaches now are trying to focus down those SCVs that we're repairing, but he ends up losing almost his entire army. He's he's got a lot of speedlings coming up, but it looks. I think that a bunker will go up, or maybe not. I don't know. If these speedlings get in, this could do quite a bit of damage. Although there are a lot of Marines. There's 9 Marines at that front, 10 Marines, 11 Marines at that front wall.
Yeah, now above the is going for that Expo, which I think is a bad choice on his part. There's really no way that he's going to be able to get economically ahead of his opponent. I would prefer just to see him go completely all-in mode and try to just bust this down with a Roachling Baneling push. I don't know. It's a tough situation to be in as a Zerg, the situation that above the is in, but I don't think it was the right choice off the bat.
Well, I mean, he does have a pretty decent-sized army outside of the natural expansion of, well, what will be the natural expansion of Cephas. So he's going to at least know when something's coming. It looks like he is going to try to get an economic advantage now by starting to saturate his natural expansion. He's got pretty good placement on 2 Zerglings, so he knows when a push-out's going to occur. And it doesn't really look like there's going to be a push-out anytime soon from Cephas. I mean, he mostly just has Marines, and he's only got 1 tank out at the moment.
Oh my god, if above V had a couple of Banelings, he probably could have won here and now if he had gotten a nice surround on those Marines with the Lings and then forced the Banelings in there. But instead it looks like
Baneling that just went up. So.
Fine. Yeah. It looks like Cephas is going to be just fine. Now that that siege tech is up, there's really nothing that above V can do to be really aggressive here.
So yeah, income is about even. There are 29 SCVs compared to 19. There was above the cut drones significantly in order to get that rush in. So now the last thing the Zerg wants is to be this far behind. 12 harvesters at the moment behind. Plus, Cephas has mules to call down. So he should pull pretty far ahead. He's up by 8 supply right now, but I expect to see that as 20 or 30 supply in the next minute or 2 before he pushes out. Yeah, so I'd say that above the definitely he's going to need Banelings. He's going to need them in good positions, burrowed, in order to keep the to keep Cephas back. But I wouldn't be shocked to see Cephas get a starport, which he does have right now. Although he's got a tech lab on it, kind of shocking to me. But I wouldn't be surprised to see some drop ships coming once he gets his defenses up at his natural expansion.
Yeah, now it looks like above V is just going to try to keep going for this all-in play. And it's not really going to work too well.
All the Banelings went to a siege tank, which is the last thing you want to attack. He lost all 6 of his Banelings to 1 siege tank, and he ends up GGing because of that last all-in. didn't go his way, and we got Cephas moving on to the round of 32.
All right, all right.